Hey guys, it's Scott. Here at Fourth World Comics, Smithtown, New York. Terrence, Bill, Chris, everybody putting out your books. Come by, best store around. Follow them on Instagram, Twitter, everything. Quick self-promotion. American Vampire, our last issue is out. Hey Zach. Zach's right here, putting stuff out. Right?
Pokemon.
Always go, catch them all. This is clearly the face of somebody who had a crazy week between announcements and kids and daycare closures and all kinds of stuff. So apologies if I'm a little slower today than normal, but I wanted to say, please, if you get a chance, go over and follow us at our Best Jacket website, our newsletter. Okay, the newsletter is the big deal because I'm about to announce something about teaching that will really open the doors for a lot of you to take a class. I'm so excited about it. I've been looking for a way to do this for a long time. So go over there, follow our newsletter. I'll post the link with this, but really huge announcement in that department coming very, very soon. And it's also the place to go to get all my thoughts about the books I'm working on, about comics, about books that I love, about, my lessons that I've learned over the years. So, Twitter and all that, it's great to be able to kind of blast out about stuff and joke around and things. But, a lot of us are looking for a more substantive way to communicate with you guys. This is really where to go for that. So I'm telling you, please follow us over there. So today, one of the questions I get asked the most, and I put off a lot of the time because I guess it's the subject, right, is writer's block. How do you get through writer's block? One of the biggest and longest kind of, I think, challenges for me was understanding what that is over the years and how to get through it, because the secret is we all face it all the time. Every day you could have writer's block. It could last an hour, it could last weeks, whatever. But what I've come to believe about it, take it or leave it, is that it's really just the fear of writing something shitty. And it's paralyzing, right? Because you don't want to, today is going to be bad. Whatever you're going to write, you're not going to like. And it forces you to either stop or get up and walk away. And one of the most valuable lessons I learned in my whole career, honestly, was when I went to school for writing for this. And the truth is, when I graduated college, I wanted to be a writer. I didn't want to go to grad school or do training. I thought the way to become a writer was to go out into the world, work odd jobs. I traveled around and, worked at Disney World and all this. I was janitor and a character and all this. And my parents were really and friends were like, you should go to grad school because you still have a lot to learn. I was like, I don't, whatever. But I applied and I got in and I didn't want to go. I honestly wanted to stay at Disney World, which was a whole other story because I was Buzz Lightyear and all this stuff, and I might have been promoted to Prince Charming and all this stuff. But anyway, the point is, I really didn't want to go because I thought I know what I love to write about. I want to just have life experience. And so I went to school, and the strange thing I learned when I came back to New York and went to school here was that it wasn't about a degree. It wasn't about, the workshops were really helpful, just being in class with other people and that stuff. And I certainly learned a lot, but the absolute most valuable lessons, the two things, honestly, were number one, I'll say number two first, but number two first was find other people who love doing what you do and hold them close, because you inspire each other, you help each other, you're honest with each other's work. Finding other people that love doing what I did was huge for me. So however you can do that. Now there's so many more tools. This was the early internet days. So this was not like it is now, where you can find other writers, other people who want to do what you do and are inspiring to you and pull them in. But the biggest thing I learned was to fight writer's block. That it demystified writing, being in a workshop, because you had to hand shit in once a week and that was it. There was no excuses. So plenty of weeks I felt like, oh God, I'm exhausted, or I just got broke up with, or whatever it is. You don't want to do it, but because you have that deadline, you must do it. And what it really taught me was that it's mechanical. There's no muse. There's no all of it. You're writing about stuff you love and you care about. There's a magic to that. But when it comes to your day and your input, you sit there and you type. And that my way of dealing with writer's block is to literally not get up from the computer and say, I'm going to write bad stuff today, stuff I don't like, it's going to make me feel bad about myself. but I'm going to feel good about myself because I did it. I sat and wrote and didn't leave the computer. The worst thing you can do is get into the habit of, well, I'm going to take a break and come back to it. If you really are, I have friends that do that, but like if you're in a focused way, like I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to go to the store and come back. If it really helps you to do that, do it, but that's the last thing on the list I would do, only because the one thing you do not want to do is get into the habit of giving in to writer's block by being like, I don't feel like I'm going to write anything good, I don't feel like this is going to work today, so I'm going to leave and come back. You'll never finish anything. And the truth is, like, the biggest thing that holds writers back, in my opinion, young writers, from finding a career is completion of things. Like, it's literally just doing it when finishing the stuff, when it feels awful, when you have to get up at 5 in the morning because you're working 2 jobs, all of that. Like, that's the worst part, and the part that also when you do it is the most inspiring, when you just finish it. So I have all kinds of tricks. Like, I have a friend that has puts a marble in a jar every time they beat their writer's block, and you go to their house and it looks like a serial killer thing where it's like marbles everywhere. I have another friend that, you know, they literally put on a certain song that really helps them, and they write through. I have another friend that just decides they're going to type as fast as they can through it. But the idea, all of those methods are just tricks to try and get you to say, I'm not going to run away from it. Really, again, we all have days like that. I have them all the time now where it's like, I know I'm going to write something I don't like today that's going to make me feel like I suck. But you have to just find a way of sitting there and writing through it. That's the real kind of secret to me of writer's block, is that it's just the fear of writing something shitty, and you have to figure out a way of working through it, because ultimately, if you give into it and say, well, I have writer's block, I'm going to come back in a week, you're never going to be able to do it professionally. Because once you get into a thing like working for a comic company or working for an artist, not even working for a comic company, you have artists that depend on you. You have letterers and colorists and editors, and everybody is waiting for you. The writing is the first step, you know? You can't get into the habit of being like, well, I need a few days. You can't. It has to be like, I'm going to write through it. I'm going to, you know, push through it. And it sucks. Believe me, I know the feeling. I know it every week. But the more you do it, the better you'll feel, and the more you'll be like, this isn't a problem. I'm going to write through this. So, again, I know it sounds prosaic, or it sounds simple, but it really is. Like, don't be afraid of writer's block. It's not a mystical thing. It's just the fear of writing something you hate. And all it is just sitting there and being like, everyone writes stuff they hate. I write stuff I hate all the time. But writing the stuff you hate on the day you know you're going to feel bad about yourself should make you feel awesome about yourself at the end of the day and be like, I got through it. So don't give in to writer's block. And okay, so I know that was short. I have a ton of stuff this week. Again, big announcements coming about teaching. If you're enjoying any of these videos, please sign up for our Substack newsletter. American Vampire, our final issue. I'm so proud of this series. I miss it so much already, but I'm sure it will come back like the monsters in our series in a new form, even worse. A couple books, I have not read this one yet, but I love Mark Russell and Mike and Lee. Not All Robots. I am sure it will be awesome. So pick it up.
One of the best ever?
Flintstones is one of the best ever. And Snagglepuss and everything. Go read that. Good Asian, new issue is out. Fantastic series. Nice House on the Lake. Come on. Best writer in comics, right? Officially, he won the Eisner. I literally got, I was like trying to follow it online. I couldn't follow it, and I just got a chat from James. I was like, I was like, oh, you won. Awesome. He's the best. The Me You Love in the Dark. I don't want to give too much away about this book, but it's awesome. Scotty Young and Jorge. I mean, these, just please pick it up. It's great image book. And yeah, all right, go out, buy some comics. And again, I know I keep harping on it. Sign up for our newsletter. If you're enjoying these, there'll be a better way a bigger way to do them with me very soon, where we'll actually do like live interactive teaching and all that stuff too. So thanks again.